Hello, happiness seekers. My name is Klaudia, and you are listening to the Happiness Challenge. This episode is part of the Happiness Reset campaign, where I bring you 25 bite sized episodes to inspire you to refocus on your happiness and fulfillment. In each short episode, I bring you one practical hack to create more happiness at work, in relationships, and in your own skin. Follow me on LinkedIn and join my newsletter to share what hacks you are finding useful and to get free tickets to a webinar on the science of happiness that I'll be hosting in February. And in this episode, we are speaking about personal brand. I'm here with Rachel Gilfrin, a confidence coach, mentor, and a podcast host working with ambitious women to grow their confidence and propel their careers. Welcome, Rachel.
Hello, Klaudia. Thank you for having me.
Rachel, I'm so excited to hear all about your happiness hack. So, what is it?
Thank you. Well, my happiness hack is all to do with bringing awareness to your own personal brand. One of the things that we tend to see with in periods of frustration, both inside the workplace and outside the workplace, is a period of frustration where we don't feel as though our value is being recognized. And it's only when we can really begin to get intentional on showing people who we actually are and showing what our attributes and our values are, that we can really expect them to understand us and truly see that value.
Brilliant. So, really spending some time to reflecting and then almost thinking how can we increase that visibility. And can you tell us a little bit late, Rachel, more about why this matters to our happiness at work?
Yeah, of course. Well, I think one of the things that we see, especially since we've seen in the festive period recently with spending more time with friends and family, is that when people know an old version of us, they can have a perception about our abilities and our potential. And that can also happen in the workplace. Sometimes we can feel as though we've leveled up, but actually that change and that recognition hasn't occurred from outside of our maybe immediate teams. So, really helping you to feel understood and valued is really going to increase that happiness because you'll feel like you're on more of a path towards getting to what you want. And one of the things that I ask people to consider is when they think about their personal brand, how do they think they are perceived by others? And what is it that they would like to be known for within the workplace or outside of that workplace as well?
Yeah, really interesting. And the idea of those perceptions. And of course, self awareness is all about us. And thinking how we feel, but also that external self awareness of how are we perceived, as you say, what are we like, what do people think about, what type of skills they're thinking about when they think of us. And really interesting that certain images kind of get stuck and perceptions in people's heads. And in order, if we want to progress in the organization or if we want to learn more, we may need to change those in a first instance. Fascinating. Okay, so if I'm ready to kind of reflect on my personal brand, move it forward in the workplace for that additional happiness and those potentially additional opportunities, what is one action that I could implement to move this happiness hack forward?
Good question. Well, I think really with your personal brand, at first, it's about really getting clear on that for you, for your benefit. And when it comes to building happiness, it's going to be really helpful for us to, first of all, just get really clear on what our values are and start to look at the ways in which that we are behaving and think, how can I behave in a way that aligns with these values today? So, for example, if one of your values was honesty and you thought, yes, this feels really important to me, a way that you could sort of begin to adapt your behavior, let's say in the workplace, would be having a conversation with a colleague or perhaps your boss or another stakeholder in the business that really says, I am being honest here, but not only demonstrates that, but where you actually reinforce that with, it's really important for me to have honesty in this conversation. And what happens when we share our values with other people and then really demonstrate our behavior backing that up is that we then become known for that. So that really helps us build that personal brand. And in doing that for ourselves and going through that self reflection process and beginning to be intentional about showing people who we are, really helps us to feel more grounded in who we are, and more fulfilled because we feel like we're taking things forward in a way that truly aligns with us, where we're not pretending to be anyone else.
Yeah, so important, isn't it? Also being authentic. But I love the fact you're saying, well, reflect on your values, but also don't hide them away. It's almost sometimes we do those reflective exercises. We put the outputs into our drawer and that's it. But actually, what you're encouraging us to do is talk about them, say, one of my value is, or this is really important to me, and then back it up by behavior, because I think that's another disjoint. It's really easy to say, well, this is my value, but then we are not demonstrating it with our behavior. So no, absolutely love the concept of reflection, communication, and then demonstrating that with behavior. Thank you so much, Rachel. That's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the Happiness Reset campaign. I hope that this happiness hack is useful and impactful for you. Definitely, it is for me. If you are up for learning more, you can listen to episode 42, How to Be Happy at Work. As always, I would love you to share this episode with others, subscribe to my podcast, and join the newsletter so you don't miss out on any future hacks. Thank you again for listening. And as always, I dare you to be happy. Bye.